and welcome to my channel. I have co-host. Say hi. Hi. Alright. Sophie got given some colouring pencils and I have this book, Colour Together Mummy and Me, and I thought, well, she can scribble as she does. These are a strange pencil. These are Bic Kids Evolution. These were given to her by one of the school teachers, which was a really cute gift. But they're not made from wood. They're made from a resin. They're splinter safe, they're easy to sharpen, and apparently super solid. So I thought I would see if I can use these things. Maybe with Sophie in tow. Okay, I think we have enough Sophie. So I thought, she was wanting to colour. They actually feel quite crayon-y. Now they're Bic, they look like Crayola, but they are Bic. I don't know if Bic owns Crayola or vice versa. But they feel quite waxy as a kind of feel. With a reasonably good coverage. No, let me finish the ear. Get your own pencil. And this bit. The horse has got a purple mask. Can I have the red now? No, mine. You got your own. I'm just kind of going around in kind of ovally bits. I'm not necessarily after strange or wonderful textures. I have yet to get... Your hair is in my face, in my mouth, Sophie. I'm yet to work on my swatch card, but you know what? I actually like these pencils an awful lot. These are cool. What are the colours? I think there's 12 in the box. I think I've got them all. Yeah, 12 in the box. Oh, here. Orange. Having them splinter proof, I think, is the easy thing for the school kids. Oh, that blue was amazing. And green. Yeah, I really, really like these. They're made in France, Evolutions by Bic. Doesn't tell you... Sophie. Doesn't tell you what each of the colours are, so on the pencils. I don't think it tells you on the box either, because they're more for kids and they're not actually giving you individual colours. No, so it's pretty much just brown is brown and green is green. It's not giving you a specific thing. It's empty, Sophie. And then we've got this. This is a normal generic colouring pencil that was floating around. Let's see if this feels much different. Oh gosh, yes. That feels disgusting by comparison. It feels like it's chalky and grainy, and I'm not getting the coverage like this. So if I try and go from dark to light, or even light to dark. Okay, you grab a pencil. I think this is a... Okay, Sophie, have you got it? There you go. Yeah, I can very much go from heavy pressure to light pressure. Let's go quite light here, and then start increasing the pressure to full strength. That's gorgeous. And this, well, you can go light, but can no. If I was to go heavy with that, I'm going to be going through the page and it just doesn't have the coverage. Yeah, I would definitely recommend Bic Kids if you want to give them a go. A little bit pencil-like, but they have a crayony soft feel. Yeah, very much like those. I know it's only a very short video, but I thought, oh well, it's the attention span of a 2-year-old. What are you doing? I made a discovery a couple of weeks ago. There were some colouring pencils going cheap on our supermarket shopping. I threw them into the cart, gave them a go, and went, oh my god. They were Bic pens, and I think I did a colouring with this. I did a bit of a haul of stuff, and since then I've gone out and I've bought both markers and pencils. Now these pencils are both the same, they're all the same. I'll go through colours. I don't think they give you much detail, but I thought I would give them a go, see what they're like. These are mega budget drawing things, and as I said, these were bought on special. This is a 12 pack and this is 24, so we've got that range of colour there. It doesn't give you anything, I don't think, to identify these colours as far as I can tell. Oh no, maybe it does. Okay, so there's a number on them. So 178, 166, that says 8190 etched into it. Let me see if I can get, is there a similar colour? See, these look the same, but that says D and these say 38. So these all begin with 3 and then there's 5. These are all the stripes version. See what else they say. It just says Bic, and that's a black pencil. And you'd think this would be the exact same. Alright, but the colour on this doesn't seem to be quite so defined. This one says 9198 and this one says 38260. Okay, so they may be slightly different in tone, but my thing was with these when I found them, they felt waxy to colour. Now I don't particularly want a black pencil for a cupcake. Let's go with an orange frosted topping. These are made from a pressed resin, so when you snap them, as kids are wont to do on occasion, they don't snap with splinters. It has that gorgeous smooth feeling, unlike a coloured kind of graphite. So it's kind of like colouring with crayon held inside a pencil, if that makes any kind of sense. Alright, so let's go for a kind of cherry reddish burgundy. So colour matching, yeah, you're not necessarily going to be able to colour match, but they do feel really nice. Now I'm going to go super hard on that. And that colour is really quite rich. I'm really liking this kind of range. I think this packet here was like $2, so in the States you'd probably get it for $1 if you can even get them. So I'm going quite light, giving very pale coverage. But it's even, it's smooth, and now I'm going to go heavier to give that bit of, you know, shadowing kind of effect. Going to go really heavy on this one and then lighten it to the next. Now when it comes to me doing colouring, honestly I don't have a clue. My colour sense is sometimes completely way off. My technique is certainly way off. maybe learn by watching, but I'm certainly not the one that you want to be following when it comes to technique or anything like that. I'm just going to give it a go, and this was, you know, a mother and baby kind of book that we could, you know, potentially doodle in together. So I don't know if I'm doing that right, but that comes on really, really well. It's smooth. That's just, these are gorgeous. So if you've got a budget and you think, yeah, you know, they might just be kids' pencils in the norm, but you know, they might just work for what you want to do. I also got the markers that you could see in that picture. That way. It's been a long time since I studied art. I don't know if these are going to smudge. That has softened it just a tiny bit, but I wouldn't rely on the smudging factor for those pencils. But Kids Bic Evolutions, they're cheap. They're in my supermarket anyway in Australia. Certainly, I think that's a really good, really cheap option if you want to give them a go. And yeah, other than the colours not necessarily being on them. See how you go. Alright, these are Bic Vivid Colour. It's a medium blocked tip. Okay, so when they say medium blocked tip, you're talking about a bullet point tip. Okay, they're not alcohol markers. These are quite thick pages, so let's just see how we go. That's actually quite a fine point. I'm actually surprised how fine a point that is. Okay, so let's get a different color. They don't have anything to identify colors on them. It's pretty much the color of the barrel, I guess. So there's, you know, your individual line. They feel okay. For a marker. Look, I'm not comparing them with anything. I'm just giving these a go. But from a not an alcohol marker, I think if you want to do colouring, don't feel you must go with some of the bigger brands. And I do have some bigger brands coming in the mail. I have bought some Milo pens off Amazon, and I have that might be all of it. I bought some books. Now I'm getting a bit of, I'm not sure if it's felt off the pen or paper on that one when I was doing that. That's a little bit weird. Okay, let's see how they blend. And again, I don't normally do this, so I really have no idea. Now I'm feeling fibers. I'm getting fibers. Not liking that. I think it could be from the other pen though, so let me try a different color. And let's see if we can blend that and a different color. I'm not expecting miracles, and I'm trying to blend. No. Okay, so I think what it's doing, because it's a water base, it's making the page soggy, and then it's pulling it up. And this is where your alcohol markers, yeah, it's getting very, very fibrous there as it's pulling the paper up. So they're not for blending, but look, you could get creative with it. Let's go with this bit of icing here. As the page gets wetter, it will start lifting up that pulp. Okay, so you need to be careful with that. It's not an alcohol marker, as I said. Alright, so I'm not going to blend really, other than very, very lightly, because I don't want to pull that fibre up all over the place. But these are two distinct different colours. And we're going to yellow, I think. Okay, that line is too harsh. So I will go back. Again, don't want to make that too soggy, but that has softened that line. So you can blend them, not like alcohol markers. It is pulpy, I can feel that paper. I can maybe get rid of it once it dries. But look, you've got a little bit of variation there. They're not hideous. Let's see what Faber-Castell are like. Now these are the connector pens. These are pens that I would have bought my kids all the time when they were little, including the massive sets. So the beauty with these, crash bang, is, well, if you've got the right pen, yeah, you've done something sneaky. If you've got the pen on the end, you can attach them, so that kind of keeps them semi-compact. You can swirl them around. Okay, again, nothing to identify what they are other than the colour on the barrel is the colour to expect, and holy cow, that is fluoro yellow on the tip. You can't really tell, I think, on that. But in comparison to the barrel, that looks like it's fluorescent yellow. And it is very much a highlighter yellow. Very, very sharp tip on these. This is what I guess where the importance of swatching your colours would be. It just says it's a connector pen. It was right next to another yellow. And from the barrel, I would not be expecting highlighter yellow. So, let's see what we can do with this. This is more true yellow, and it's showing that yellow. But we'll get rid of that highlighter yellow. It's not eating the paper up like the other one did with the two colours over each other. So that's better. Faber-Castell is getting into the whole more professional style markers, but again, these are for kids. So you would be expecting these to work differently. Bit of pulp coming up there. Now, what I used to do when I had these as a kid, and I've had these since I was, you know, day dot, I would recharge these by soaking them in vinegar, and they'd smell of the vinegar, but they never used to seem to last very long. But they work. What did I do? I did a pink in the other crayons, markers. It's not quite the right one, but anyway, it'll do. So yeah, you get a bit of a choice. This is just a small packet, 24. I bought it in Big W for those of you in Australia, which is just a kind of supermarket side chain that does clothing and other things. You've got the silver, you've got black, and then you've got your range of colours. As I said, the connectors are kind of cool in that they can connect together. It was just a bit of a haul. There is no reason why you cannot steal your kids' markers, crayons, pencils and use them. I really love these Bic pencils. I think they're fantastic in both the stripes range, and again, I don't know what the difference is with the stripes range. These say intense colors, and they really are. The color is really good. They're a lovely soft pastel feel in the color. They're supposed to sharpen really easy. They're super resistant to the snapping off like you'd normally get from lead pencils, which can be quite brittle. And yeah, they're cheap as chips and they're available everywhere. So yeah, you might find them in your supermarket or wherever you need to buy. But look, it was just something I wanted to give a go, and ultimately they'll end up in a bucket for Sophie. So yeah, there's a little bit of a play. There is a feeling of that pulp having risen from these markers, from the Bic markers. They're probably the least effective. I don't know what they would do with a normal kids colouring book which doesn't have the pulpy paper. They might be fine, or they might be absolutely horrific on that, but you know, these would probably be not my favourites. Of all of this, they would not be my favourites. Whereas the Faber-Castell, that was fine. Still a little bit of the pulping of the paper with the Faber-Castell, and that's the risk that you take with these washable pens, with the non-alcohol based pens. So yeah, thought you might be interested. The description on this says ultra washable colouring felt pen, easy to remove from skin and most fabrics, soap and water, medium blocked tip, vivid colours, ventilated cap, not suitable for children under 3 and small parts, but she would be supervised if she was getting her hands on those. So yeah, the pencils, not an awful lot. It's a wood-free resin pencil. It's ultra shock resistant, intense colours, safe no splinters if it breaks, and we have had them break, and it is a clean snap. Average score of 85%. Product recommendation on Bic Kids Colouring Range. Study conducted by France in November 2015 to January 2016, and 730 teachers were involved. So these are often pencils that you'll see given out to kids, and Sophie was actually given a box from one of the school teachers, so these are used throughout our schools locally. They're cheap, they're affordable, and they work. More importantly, they really work. Very nice pens. Hey, just a bit of a filler, well, not a filler as such, but this is just a comparison with some of the alcohol markers. This page now has dried, the texture has kind of died down, but it's still there from the pulp having lifted. So I'm going to do a similar technique as I've done here. So let's pick, again, I haven't got around to swatching these. Not perfect, but it'll do. Here is a swirl. So these being alcohol markers, very different feel from the water-based markers from Bic. Now I want to blend that, so I'm going over the overlap. See, I do learn something by watching other people color, just a bit. The blending is much better with the alcohol marker. I'm not finding and while it's still wet, I want to do that blend. I'm not finding the pulp lifting on the page. These are a much bigger nib. And look, it's similar enough. I'm going to zoom you in. Okay, so you go, you got both of them. So this is the alcohol marker, and this is the water marker. Okay, this is still textured. You can actually see the pulp lifted. This is beautiful and smooth, and it's still drying, it's still damp. So very happy with the alcohol marker in comparison to the water marker. So if you're going to invest in markers, stick with alcohol for yourself and give the kids the water ones so they can scribble on the walls, and you know, you can wash it and be sane. Yeah, so it's not just the book that's the issue, as I say. So yeah, very different finish. The pencils, the Bic pencils are fantastic. The Bic markers, not so much, and the Faber-Castell, nah, drop them too. So water markers, or whatever they are, non-alcohol markers, leave them for your kids. I may clean up a bit easier, but the alcohol markers, yeah, definitely keep going with them as an adult. And I'll get you back to the video. Bye. What are you doing? What are you doing?
No.
Your wrong end. You need the pointy end. Here. Better. See? Can you say bye-bye?
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Pencils. So yeah, just a little bit of a show and tell, I suppose. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you around. Bye.